Okay, hello. So another video about the subject of nuclear, and I look into the top news, and today I'll talk about this. Prince Andrew giving up his royal titles, including Duke of York, after discussion with the king. This is top news. This is top news. The fact that it's top news makes it meaningful by itself. It's just something that is easy to talk about, because it's top news. It's something that makes sense, when you find a consistency in the world news, something that everything is connecting to, because that's what I'm showing here on my channel. And I'm going to talk about nuclear again when it comes to Prince Andrew. Yes, it's going to make sense again. So this is I'm currently doing videos of something that I call Nuclear October. I showed you the fact that Limp Bizkit, their bassist, passed away, Sam Rivers, but in fact, Limp Bizkit is in a lawsuit that is called the nuclear option and so on. I mean, and then we had a lot of other things that I'm showing, but now I'm going to talk about this, okay? So let's look at that, Prince Andrew. And it's all about nuclear right now. It's like the collective unconscious is processing this information. Let me just get to the point, okay? So let's not just say strange things here, but actually get to the point. So the Prince Andrew Epstein scandal, it has to do with that. And in fact, this was, sorry, this was talked during an interview of some kind. And if you look at this Wikipedia or article, you'll see that it received negative reaction both from the media and the public, both in and outside of the UK. The interview was described as car crash or nuclear explosion level bad. So, yes. Oh, nuclear explosion level bad. So yes, suddenly the nuclear explosion is, or the subject of nuclear is popping up here again when it comes to Prince Andrew, just like it did with this so here you see this is what the large scale lawsuit with Limp Bizkit against Universal is called. It's called the nuclear option. It's like, I mean, this is so obvious, guys. It's so obvious, and the only reason I believe right now that other people are not talking about it is like I believe there's 100% censoring. So, hello, censoring people. I guess no one hears me. No one but the censoring people is hearing me talk right now. And yeah, I mean, maybe that's the case, but we're still, we're still, we're still going somewhere with this. I think you know that, all of you here. We're going somewhere with this, right? We're going somewhere. And what I'm saying is that this will express itself. It's going to express itself. Don't you get it? Like, people don't seem to get it, but again, maybe it's really uncomfortable to talk about these things because it's like what people fear the most, right? This is what this stuff here, up here is what people fear the most, right? So it's hard to even think about these things. But yeah, like it's a pattern. So you see these articles with Prince Andrew and comparing this with Prince Andrew with a nuclear explosion, you know. And why do you think it is like that? Well, it's because, I mean, I'll tell you what's happening. The collective mind is processing this information, and it needs to like slowly approach here like this. It's the subject is approaching everyone, right? I mean, and the unconscious and the subconscious is seeing this in all people. But the conscious mind, is the conscious, like I talk to you here, right? I talk to you. But in fact, is that really the conscious? It doesn't seem that conscious to me, right? All the information, all the awareness hidden deep down in the unconscious. And now we see this information here. We see it. And I mean, there are no comments here, and it's probably because I'm like 100% censored. It's basically like what I'm doing here. I'm basically showing evidence that we're going into this, we're going there. I'm showing the kind of psychic phenomena of not only me, but like reality expressing itself like that. We're looking at Prince Andrew here, right? Or, as I said, we're looking at Limp Bizkit and their nuclear option lawsuit. Why are these popping up? Well, what did I paint? I made a drawing of poisonous smoke and rubble. Rubble, poisonous smoke. This is what I believe is going to be on people's minds of like in a potential thing. The smoke, the wind, that. Because if something actually you know if these words become literal, which I believe they will, the people experiencing that, they don't get to think much about it, but rather everyone else everyone else here on earth would think about the wind direction, right? What direction does the wind go? Where does the smoke go? Right? So, yeah, something to think about, right? Anyhow, what I'm doing is that I'm showing evidence here again and again. All the top news seems to have this cross section, like this this thing that ties them together like this. There's some, and I have also been talking about that. I mean, yeah, it was my drawings, right? Two drawings now, having that same. We saw the blackout in Ukraine at the nuclear power plant, the largest in the world. We saw in Tennessee the explosion. And listen, it's all, it's all, I mean, there is no conspiracy. There's no conspiracy. It's, I mean, it's what's going on here. Like, people really don't get it. People really don't get this. Let's make this bigger. Let's make me bigger also. I'll talk a bit. What's really going on here is not a conspiracy. It's actually much worse than that. I mean, people would like it to be a conspiracy, maybe even, because it would mean that someone is, in fact, in control, right? Maybe you even got some people with some, how do you say, some interest, like personal interest in something, like ownership, right? If you have ownership of something, a private ownership, then if there is a conspiracy, you want the best for that, right? But what I'm telling you here is that no, there is no conspiracy. There is, it's actually like people fear conspiracies. But this is not about a conspiracy. It's much more more scary, right? Which means that it is left to the unconscious to handle, right? And that's why, I mean, that's how I see it, at least. So there's a reason for this way that we are. But at some time, the truth has to be known. And that's when information goes like this conscious, unconscious, they meet, and it's the going together, in general, many things going together, like man and woman, right? And beginning and end, the end becomes the beginning, metamorphosis. Yeah. I'm not talking much about these things, but that's okay. So yeah, this is, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about this because, as I said, there is no discussion. There is actually no one here almost. I guess no one is sharing my videos. I guess, I mean, these things like that. And of course, I stop talking about certain things. What I do is that I made a post some time ago. When was that? Because a long time ago I said, because I made a drawing of the Charlie Kirk thing, right? And no one seemed to realize here, right? 2 weeks ago I made this post. To whatever price, do not admit what I do, and most importantly, do not encourage me. To the degree that it's more preferable to start a nuclear war. Indeed, it all makes sense. So, this is 2 weeks ago, and now we see that the Prince Andrew giving up his title has a connection to nuclear explosion. It really seems like what I'm saying here 2 weeks ago, which it looks like it kind of is coming true, when you look at what's actually happening in the world. Let's get back to that. What's happening in the world? Well, as I said, you have the large lawsuit of Limp Bizkit, the nuclear option. You have Prince Andrew, and this situation around Prince Andrew being called a nuclear explosion. Right? I mean, do you see how perfect this is? So this is why I'm confident. I'm confident because when it comes to these things, I mean, it's hard to explain it, but you see what's happening here. It's really hard to explain it. So we're just looking at the evidence here, and what you see here is true. This is what's happening. It's like what you see is a sign of the validity of what I've been saying. And also, people really believe that they can, I think it's like this. People believe that they can, how do you say, trick me, with, imagine putting a lot of money into actually perfecting a gaslighting, Let's strategically create a gaslighting to be perfect, okay? And imagine that you put a lot of money into gaslighting someone in the perfect way, and it still fails because what I'm showing you is truly happening, and the top news are saying that. You see, it's yeah. And here's the thing also. I've been aware of this for a very long time, that it is like this. I basically said something and then it is like that. You know what I mean? I said that you'd rather create a nuclear war than to encourage me. And we see the top news now, which is the definition of what is sound to talk about. It is sound to look at the circumstances. It is sound to look at what everything connects together into. It's reasonable. What I'm saying here is reasonable, but it's strange. No one really can explain it, right? There is no explanation. It just is like this. And maybe it seems unfair, you know? Maybe. But of course I enjoy this. I enjoy that. Okay, let's say like this. Most of all, I would enjoy to be wrong, right? It would mean that other people actually are like, I mean, it would mean some kind of equality, okay? But this is not how it is. even if it would be cool, right? I truly think so. So yeah, the reality is charmed. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's just I don't know how to explain it. Let's get back to because from all perspectives right now. Also, you had this Kenyan former prime minister passing away, and he is there is mourning in Kenya. Sorry, uh, mourning in Kenya, and uh, he was a huge proponent for nuclear power. He was a proponent for a global nuclear power, something like that. And I mean, besides, like in this video, I talk specifically about Prince Andrew, but each and every one of these videos has this connection in it. And initially, it seems unreasonable that it is like this. It seems like I'm like doing some kind of um, fallacy in thinking, you know? When you look at what I'm doing here, like the first thought is that, okay, maybe there is a logical fallacy going on here. But then you have to realize here that I am intentionally restricting myself by looking at the top news, which means that I'm not really cherry picking. This is big news. Like Prince Andrew is giving up his titles. It's like, oh, this is what people look at. And so, no, it's not really like you most of them when people do like circular reasoning and they do a lot of logical fallacies. Yes, I know. But um and therefore many people believe that maybe I am doing some kind of fallacy here, fallacy of how do you say of uh, I'm a bit tired here. It's late, but biased, you know. And I am like the idea that I'm biased, you know. And normally you would say like, okay, you're looking for something and therefore you're finding it, right? But I wouldn't say that it is like this. It's too central. Like what I'm finding is too close to the top news, um, to the subject of the top news. So if you take, for example, this Prince Andrew, why is he giving up his titles? Because of a situation that is described as a nuclear explosion. Okay, there's no doubt about this. This is no cherry picking here. It's just it's. I mean, how do I explain this? Let's call it unfair. You know, it really seems logically unfair here. It's like um, I'm just I'm just right. You know, you know what I mean? I'm just right. That's just how it is. I don't know how to explain it another way. It's just how it is, you know? And I know that and I said a while back, do we want like why do you ignore what I'm talking about, guys, you know. And I get it, okay, I'm censored because a regular guy shouldn't be able to have these connections, right? Mm, but uh, okay, but see where we are now, right? Where are we going with this? Well, so we had two musicians just passing away also. So we had this nuclear power Kenyan prime minister. We had Limp Bizkit nuclear option lawsuit. We had Ace Frehley from Kiss and his smoke bombs, right? The smoke bombs, right? Where, yeah, it is his signum to have smoke bombs. And what was his cause of death? He fell and then hurt himself and then eventually passed away because of that accident. And so Ace Frehley fell like one of his guitar bombs, you know. And also, what's all going on here? You know, it is a resonance, just like a guitar has resonance. There is a resonance going on. As I argue, in the time-space continuum, it sounds like Back to the Future. Yes. Uh, and um, then we had President Biden going through radiation therapy, and the shooter of Dallas ICE fearing radiation exposure. You know, it's the biggest news. What does all of this mean? It means the writing is on the wall. Ukraine capital blackout. So we have the blackout keyword. We have, because yes, I mean, this kind of event creates um, EMP, right? So here's the thing. I think uh, there's a tension here, of course, going on in reality, and um, I don't know if I should recommend this, but you know, or maybe that's not possible. It's like this kind of tension. I'm really seeing that it needs to express itself. I mean, it will express itself. That's how I see it, because it's everywhere. It's literally everywhere, and no one is talking about it because it's like no one wants that, right? So no one, or maybe no one can actually see this. It's like, no, everyone are blind or something like that. I don't know. So yeah. So here's the Wikipedia article for Prince Andrew, describing all of this as a nuclear explosion. Um, and this is the reason for his for giving up his royal titles. So yeah, when it comes to me and titles, you know, I I use no titles at all. Previously, I had a King of Hearts, you know, a King of Hearts, which is the birth card for October 22nd, when I'm born. But then I decided to remove that King of Hearts. because um, yeah, you know, what do I so if I have King of Hearts, I could say that, yeah, I have it because I'm born October 22nd, right? Um, but it gives a signal of something, right? And I would prefer just to not give any signals like that, but instead do things. Because there's a lot of people that can give themselves titles, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do things like I'm doing right now. We're talking about nuclear here on my channel. And I said 2 weeks ago that, you know, no one is encouraging what I'm doing, and now we're here. All the top news has a connection to nuclear explosion. We have the Prime Minister of Kenya. We have the blackout of the largest nuclear power plant in Europe, in Ukraine, performed by Russia, according to the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Ukraine. So, and the same in US, right? It's everywhere. This is everywhere. Uh, all the world is talking about the same thing, but it's talking as a story, as a hidden symbolism in a story that is slowly playing out. And I'm censored, so people cannot comment, probably. You cannot. This censoring is super intelligent. It's super smart. And so, but of course, try to leave a comment if you think that you're able to get through. Yeah, so how do you feel about this situation? So yeah, as I said, what I believe is that if this happens, the main focus is going to be the wind, the smoke, the gust of wind, of radiation, right? That's that's going to be the focus in case of this happening. And yes, as I'm saying, I truly think it will happen because I mean I've been seeing it a long time ago, and I've been and now we see it in the world news, in all of them, all the world news. I mean, not all of them, but too many of them. Too many. Okay, too many of the top quirky news, like the the news that have a little bit of soul in it, a little bit of uh, in something that is interesting in the world news, like uh, the death of someone really famous, or um, like this, someone giving up royal titles, and then further down you see the connection to nuclear explosion. Um, this is not biased. I'm not biased. You can call it, as I said, this is unfair. You get it? It's like unfair. But many logical thinkers here that are not good enough at logic will see it as biased. It's not. I'm not biased about this. Yeah, whatever I said. So you notice that the news is disproportionate about this, and yeah, um, So this was also interesting, you know. I made the drawing of the smoke and the rubble, and while doing this, I also showed Hegseth in that video. So, and then it looks like a crack in the window, and then his plane had this crack, and it became an emergency landing because of that here, right? In this video, I show that. So, wait. So in this video, I make the drawing, but here, you see here? You see Hegseth here. I show him in the video, in fact. So yeah, enough about this. Um, so that's it, you know. That's what I wanted to say. Uh, the writing is on the wall, right? The writing on the wall. Every significant news is about this. I mean, okay, as I said, not every, but uh, too many of them. Too many. And yeah, um, I guess, you know, I'm imagining that this is going to happen. Like, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to happen. And then I'm thinking, no one is going to care, right? No one is going to realize that I talked about this. Maybe the censoring people will. Oh, that's scary. Like, being the only one watching me, right? Maybe that's you, the censoring guys. Um, nightmares, right? I mean, I guess I would have that if I were you. Because, I mean, what's happening here is not normal. And yeah. Um, yeah. So, regarding not normal, look at this, right? So here, this was just before the shooting. I uploaded a video on September 7th of something that looks similar to the murder scene of Charlie Kirk, right? Then also, like a lot, I mean, many of these events I'm drawing before they happen, and we have before the electricity went out in Europe, I made this. Let's look at that. Wait, what's the name of that? So cutting cord. I chop with an axe into the network, right? And this was before the electricity. 4 days later, the electricity went out in Europe, in many parts, like in Spain, Portugal, and France. So yeah, it's a real thing going on here, and it is. It seems unfair. Like when you look at what I'm doing here, it seems like it's like a computer game, and someone has like cheat codes, you know. It's like that. But from my perspective, I don't think it's like that. Of course, I think everything is okay, you know, as I see it. But yeah, I mean, it looks like some kind of cheat codes going on here. Yeah. Um, Okay, so let's end this video. The point was this, and Prince Andrew is also doing his part here when it comes to that. So yeah, that's all. Bye.